Urban here. Welcome to my living room, a new guitar video series that I'm doing, and this is literally my living room. What do you think of this new hand-built tube amp by Curtis Richardson? 8 watts, vintage components. It's awesome. Thanks, Curtis. We'll be doing more demos of this in the near future. Anyway, answering your guitar questions in an informal, again, living room format. Next question comes from Comrade Julie. How's it going, Julie? She was wondering about playing metal rhythm guitar. She's a proficient musician on the piano and a vocalist, but is having trouble finding a lot of resources about learning rhythm guitar. She's also working on lead guitar too, but wanted to specifically learn about rhythm guitar. Well, Julie, I'm glad you asked. I get a lot of questions about rhythm guitar, actually, especially in other styles. Maybe I was just talking to another comrade about acoustic strumming patterns, and well, I'm obviously missing something up here, but I don't know why my hair is red. But I never really learned strumming patterns or picking rhythm patterns. I instead learned how the grid works, and I want to show you this, what the beat grid, and I'll explain this in a second. This has really helped me understand how rhythm works, and whether I'm listening to music or trying to dance badly, don't forget where the 1 is. That's the main thing. Very embarrassing on the dance floor or on the stage. And just seeing how everything fits together and then creating my own beats with it has been very helpful. So the grid I'm talking about works like this. We're going to assume for this example that we're in 4/4 time, although a lot of progressive metal especially uses different time signatures. The pattern and the theory is relatively the same, though. The rules apply. We just modify things slightly. So I'll show you in 4/4, but it can be applied to other time signatures as well. So what we're dealing with is we're going to start with the quarter note pulse. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I'm accenting that 1. You don't want to lose track of the 1. Trust me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this up. Now, for everybody watching this, most of this is going to be basic knowledge, and it's just a slightly different way of looking at it. It's the application that really counts, though. So have fun messing around with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop that in half. I'm going to play 8 notes, so twice as many notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 16th notes. So I'm going to double that speed or chop the note values. Oh, and it's counted 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and stupid drummers. 2E and a 3E and a 4E and so if I can hear the 16th note grid behind whatever I'm playing, and for some metal, if the tempo is fast, like 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to be mostly using an 8-note grid. 16 might be a little too fast. It depends on the application. If I can hear this grid behind what's going on, then I can start to understand it. And I can also start to make up my own beats. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a 16th note grid like this, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. And then I'm going to play a power chord along the E string, so based on the top string. And I'm going to be in the key of E minor. So I'm going to be using an E, I'm going to be using a G, I'm going to be using an A. So open in 2, 3 and 5, 5 and 7. I'm just going to make some up as I go along. So, switch to 8th notes right at the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So okay, so what's going on there is I'm just power chords on any number. So 1E and 1, 2, 3, or 4. So 1E and 2E and 3. After I get comfortable with that, then I can start placing the chord on different beats. Say the E for a very syncopated feel. And so the pick is going to be traveling 1 E and so down, up, down, up. So instead of placing the chord on a downstroke, I'm going to place it on an upstroke. So we go 1 E and now that doesn't sound that complicated, but put a drum beat next to it and it's very syncopated. Switch from the 1 1 to the E right there. So that's a really good thing to start with. That's helped me a lot. If you can hear the grid behind what's going on in any style. Let's say, let's try a funky style. So if you want to play along, what I'm doing here is I'm borrowing the bottom 2 strings on 8, and then I'm hitting the 3rd string on 9 and the 4th string on 10. This is outline a C major chord. Move the same shape down to 6 for a B flat, and then to 5 for A. So, and I'm strumming down, up, down, up, down, up. And then, so I got this 16th note grid. Again, even though this is sort of like a 70s R&B sound, this is definitely, you can use this to improve your metal skills. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Oops, wait, what am I doing? So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. So I'm pushing down at first. Anytime the pick is traveling down, I'm pushing my hand down. And then I'm loosening my grip when the pick is traveling up. So it sounds like this. Now I'm going to start to improvise. I'm going to push down whenever I want to. The important thing is that the beat keeps going. Now, as I get more comfortable with this, I don't have to strum every 16th note, but if I can hear where it is, then I know where I can place the chord when it will still be on beat. So that's a couple of my thoughts on playing rhythm guitar, and then another very important part about learning it is to listen to really great, not only rhythm guitar players, but rhythms of all genres. Try to play along with some salsa music, or listen to jazz piano players comping. It's a Gratitude piano. It's like 100 years old, and I got it for free off Craigslist. It's like some Jack White would play, I think. So listen to different rhythms there. And actually, speaking of jazz, see, this is a random informal chat in my living room. I want to mention triplet feels right now and a swing feel. So, but just to wrap that up, so play along with a lot of stuff and see if you can hear where that grid is, and play along. It doesn't, you're not really worried about what note you're playing, you're worried about where the note is. So play along with recordings even if you're horribly out of key. It doesn't matter, you're trying to get how they place their notes in the grid. Now, one important thing, like I mentioned, that we haven't talked about is a triplet feel. So a triplet is 3 notes in the space of 2. Let's talk about 8th note triplets first. So instead of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, I'm going to go like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. This is probably most commonly heard in blues. And what we're going to do here is, I'm going to play a blues shuffle in the key of A. Times we don't hear it like that. It sounds a little bit different. So what I'm actually doing is I'm taking trip out. So I go 1, let, 2, let, 3, let, 4. And what that is the silent trip has sort of pushed the last 8th note over a little bit, so it appears to be late. So instead of this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I add 3 notes, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and then I take trip out and I get 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So it's called swing. That 8th note has moved around, and I can mess around with it a little bit. I'm going to start from a straight feel and then go into a swing or a triplet feel. We can do the same thing with 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. It's easier if you think of it like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then I'm just going to make the upstrokes a little bit late. Again, it's like I'm putting a 3rd note in there and then not playing it. Shuffled or non-swung feel. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2. So, have fun with with that. Of course, let me know if you have any follow-up questions. Again, this is a conversational format, so just drop me an email or say hello on the World Domination Guitar Academy Facebook page, or Josh at joshurban.com. I'm also on Twitter at Don'tJoshMe. A couple random thoughts from my living room on playing rhythm guitar. And definitely want to show you guys this amp too. I got a Jekyll and Hyde Visual Sounds Ultimate Overdrive hooked up to this. This is an Ibanez RG 20th anniversary reissue. Yeah. This is an 8-watt tube amp here. That's it for today. I'll see you next time, and please let me know if you have any follow-up questions. Thanks for the question, Julie, and everybody, rock on! See ya.